Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here before I have to go down the road here. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of thoughts on Dak Prescott. Dak had an incredible rookie season. First half of last year was pretty good. Second half, it seemed like everything kind of fell apart. And we're starting off this first year, this the third year, which really is a contract year when the Cowboys have to decide if they're going to end up paying him and feeling that he is the franchise quarterback, or start thinking about, do we need to go in another direction? And we're not the only team that has that situation. I believe the New York Giants may be messed up. Personally, I think they should have went for a quarterback. To have the number two pick in the NFL, when you have a quarterback who's aging, you have to understand we've got to be looking at the future more than just this year. They ended up doing that with Eli, getting Eli when you still had a Kurt Warner there, and it ended up being the right thing to do. You look at it with Green Bay, who still had Brett Favre. They drafted Aaron Rodgers, a guy who could sit behind, that veteran, learn, and now you see him being the best quarterback or one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So the New York Giants had that opportunity, but they decided to roll the dice and say, Eli will be good for a few more years. And if he's not, then you're going to have to probably sell the farm to get back in that position. But we're not worried about the New York stinking Giants. We're worried about our Dallas Cowboys. Now, let's be completely honest, because when the Cowboys drafted Dak Prescott in the fourth round, they did not see him as a franchise quarterback, nor did anybody in the NFL ever see him as a franchise quarterback. That's the reason why he went in the fourth round. The draft analysis guys said, he might be a quality backup. Well, his first year was definitely better than a quality backup. Second year, first half, you could say that. Second half, well, things kind of fell apart. I'm not ready to give up on Dak Prescott, especially since the team is in flux. This team has become one of the youngest teams in the NFL. Make no mistake, there's a lot of new parts. The offensive line is in flux. You still have questions in coaching and play calling. But this time, offense needs some time to gel together. And I believe they will have it together before the end of the season. But the thing that the Dallas Cowboys are very, very fortunate about right now is they are the lowest team in the NFL in quarterback salary. When you start seeing guys like Sam Bradford that are getting $20 million, when you start seeing Matt Ryan get a $150 million contract and really didn't play that much better than Dak Prescott this past week, the Cowboys are in a great situation money-wise to try and elevate their team, much like the Seattle Seahawks did with Russell Wilson. Because he was not a first-round draft pick, because they weren't paying him all that money, they were able to lock in guys on the team that they wouldn't have to, that or other teams couldn't because they were paying the quarterback. So this is an opportunity that the Cowboys have, but they don't have much time with it. Now I want to go to NFL Live here. We're having a little discussion about this. Okay.
With you from NFL Live, Coach John Fox, Tim Hasselbeck, Dan Graziano, I'm Wendy Nix. Dak Prescott is one of those valuable contracts. He's still on his rookie deal. It's year 3, and every team knows they got to make the most of those years, Coach. Right now, it seems like the Cowboys' offense is falling short. What can they do to make the best use of this time with Dak?
Well, whatever it's going to be, it's going to have to be next season, right? Because right now they've missed that opportunity. I mean, whether it's in the draft or whether it's, in free agency acquisitions, they're not really going to be able to take advantage of that at this point this year. I mean, they can make roster claims and whatnot, but not the kind of improvement they're going to need.
Yeah, listen, I completely agree, and I think they're wasting it. The frustration that they're wasting it, I think, is an accurate one. Not only are they not paying Dak a ton of money, but Zeke's cheap right now too because he's on his rookie deal. So I think you're right. It's not something that can change this year, but it's something that if they don't change next year, then they've missed that opportunity that they've seen other teams like the Seattle Seahawks or the Philadelphia Eagles kind of take advantage of to find their way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, look, they're built around this offensive line and this run game, and obviously the offensive line is not what it needs to be right now health-wise, but they're so locked into that system that's so dependent on the run. The answer to the question, I think, is they have to give Dak a little more freedom to operate and be a little more of a dynamic player than what they've allowed him to be the last couple of years. That's a lot easier said than done, and it's a lot easier said than done during the season, to your point, Coach. I think that's something you have to work on and install during the offseason, be a little more flexible in terms of your offensive approach.
Again, year 3, it's a 4-year rookie deal, so cue extension talk or whatever next summer. They'll get the questions for sure. Catch us every weekday.
Okay, so they basically said the same thing that I said as well, that this is the opportunity where you have to go through and build the team. Now, the team has done some great things. They have gone through, and you see what they have done as far as getting their financial house in order. The fact that we have $19 million plus of salary room right now is fantastic. The fact that you've got your offensive line locked up for down the road. Now you have to start figuring out, what are we going to be doing with this team? Is Jason Garrett and the guys to be there to take your quarterback to the next level? And make no mistake, all you guys out there that are saying he's a bum, get him out of here. Take a look around the NFL and tell me how many great quarterbacks there are. I'll wait. When you start seeing Matt Ryan, who I've been on record saying that take out 2016, he's just an average quarterback. Take a look at that salary. Take a look around the NFL with guys like, God, I'm just having a brain fart here. Guys like Sam Bradford that are still in the league that have never really done anything. There aren't a lot of options at quarterback. And I can guarantee you, of all the quarterbacks that were drafted this year, half of them will be bust. So your best bet is figure out what Dak Prescott does well. Get guys in there that can work with him to elevate that, to exploit that. Because the opportunities of getting somebody else are few and far between. And it's a crapshoot. And so this is where the Dallas Cowboys have to make sure they don't fail Dak Prescott as much as Dak Prescott doesn't fail the Dallas Cowboys. So that's where we are, guys. I, for one, believe that Dak and the wide receivers and this crew, given time, will gel, will become a great offense, and I believe in Dak. But, I know we're going to see tons of comments that I'm delusional, I am in love with Dak Prescott, yada, 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 so on. But leave your comments anyway, and we'll go from there. But, guys, if you are going to say get rid of him, please let me know who you're going to put in to replace him. I'm Mark Holmes with Cowboy Joe Boo, and I'll see you guys later.